Procrastination often gets a bad reputation in the world of self-improvement, and it's easy to see why. We associate it with delaying important tasks, letting our goals slip through our fingers, and sacrificing our future happiness for short-term comfort. But what if there's more to it? What if procrastination isn't just a behavior to shame or suppress, but a signal from your mind trying to tell you something important? Today, we're diving deep into how procrastination can actually work in your favor when you learn to listen to what it's saying. First, let's challenge a common belief. Procrastination isn't necessarily about poor time management. Instead, it's often rooted in emotional regulation. It's your brain's way of responding to tasks that evoke feelings of resistance, boredom, or even fear. Understanding this dynamic opens the door to seeing procrastination not as a flaw to beat yourself up over, but as a tool for self-awareness. Think of procrastination as an internal alarm. When it shows up, it's nudging you to look closer at your motivations. If you're consistently avoiding a task, it could be because the goal behind it isn't truly yours. For instance, you might decide to pursue a career in law, driven by the promise of financial stability and prestige. But if you find yourself constantly putting off studying, it may be your mind signaling that this path isn't in tune with your authentic desires. Maybe this goal was shaped by others' expectations rather than your own aspirations. When procrastination surfaces, it's worth asking whether the pursuits you're working toward are genuinely aligned with what you value, or merely echoes of what others want for you. This motivational disconnect doesn't just apply to major life choices. It can show up in how you approach tasks leading to those goals. Let's say you want to get in shape, but you've chosen repetitive activities like running and lifting weights, which bore you to tears. Here, procrastination isn't about resisting the goal of getting fit. It's about rejecting the methods you've chosen to get there. Your brain craves variety and stimulation. Ignoring these needs only invites procrastination to stick around. Instead, listen to what that procrastination is pointing out. The process matters. If running isn't your thing, try activities that excite you, like dance classes or kickboxing. When you find a way that aligns with what you enjoy, procrastination loses its grip. Sometimes, though, procrastination isn't connected to a specific task at all. It's an overall state of weariness, a sign that you're simply exhausted. If you're feeling unmotivated across the board and only find pleasure in activities you love, it might mean your energy reserves are depleted. This widespread procrastination is your body's way of begging for a break, signaling that you need time to recharge. We often push ourselves too hard, cramming more into our schedules than is sustainable. Ambitious goals and hard work are valuable, but so are rest and self-care. It's not a sign of weakness to step back and replenish. It's a smart way to ensure you can keep moving forward. Now, there's also a technique known as active procrastination that might seem counterintuitive but can actually boost productivity. It involves intentionally postponing a task with a set deadline, using the approaching due date to create a sense of urgency. This delay increases levels of adrenaline and cortisol, the body's stress hormones, which can fuel a burst of focused energy. It's a strategy that students often use, cramming for exams or pulling late-night study sessions when the deadline looms near. Similarly, workers might wait until the last moment to tackle a tedious report, leveraging the time crunch to power through. But while active procrastination can jumpstart motivation, it isn't a long-term solution. Over-relying on stress-induced productivity carries risks, as too much cortisol in your system can lead to burnout, anxiety, and even health problems. Think of this approach as a tool to use occasionally rather than a regular practice. It's great for moments when a little extra pressure is beneficial, but you don't want to make it your go-to strategy for every task. Procrastination, then, isn't just about avoiding responsibilities. It's a complex signal that can provide insights into your motivations, energy levels, and even the methods you're using to achieve your goals. So, the next time you catch yourself putting off a task, don't rush to judge yourself. Instead, Pause and ask what your procrastination is trying to communicate. You might find it's pointing out a need for change, rest, or a different approach. Listening to procrastination doesn't mean giving into it. It means understanding its message and using that information to make better choices. When you stop battling it and start seeing it as a guide, you'll discover that it's not just an obstacle, but a valuable teacher on your path to growth.